that I do. So I appreciate everybody that's was open to reading about the truth about certain people. And maybe start your own Facebook page. I don't know what to tell you. It's a real sad situation when the news media doesn't want to cover certain things, and when you try to cover it, they send the police to your door. You know, I know things about the department, but it's all on there. They said I can't post anything new. They said I could leave what's up. That's what they told me. Anyway, it's a real shame. And I appreciate all of the ex-workers from the parks and the current workers from the parks that have reached out to me, and I've gotten 100% positive feedback from these people. Although there are claims that that's not the case by you know who. So you know who's the truth teller, and you know who the bunch of liars are. And I don't know what else to say to y'all. This is kind of a crappy video. I didn't write out a script or anything for it, and this just happened. So I'll catch you all later. I'm banned from the parks. Yeah, pretty funny, huh? All right. Well, we'll see what becomes of this. There's some things on the horizon, though, involving the state of Arizona Civil Rights Office that might change things up a little bit. Bye. Hey, y'all, I got some bad news for you. The Pima County Sheriff's Office sent somebody down knocking on my door telling me can't post on Facebook no more, at least the truth that I do. So I appreciate everybody that's was open to reading about the truth about certain people.
What the heck is going on in Pima County? Now, that man is not reporting on Nancy Guthrie. He's just simply reporting on the conditions of the parks in Pima County. Now, let that sink in. This man is simply reporting on the conditions of the parks in Pima County. And they came knocking on his door, as you just heard, banning him from the parks for talking about the conditions of the state parks or the parks in Pima County, and telling him he's not allowed to post. What the TF is going on in Pima County when you can't talk about a public park on a Facebook page? Y'all, I'm Canadian, and you guys should be so worried because, y'all, the laws that are happening in Canada now against freedom of speech, looks like your country is following suit, at least in Pima County. And that's just disturbing. I said I wasn't going to talk about this anymore, but we're going to talk about it a little bit later in the video. Okay, we're going to talk about it a little bit later, because this is just not acceptable. This is just not acceptable, what's going on in Pima County. And I have to tell you, well, let's just watch this after you saw that and tell me how you feel about this. Let's go.
She's got these very fancy but clunky.
They're in.
You've seen them. They're very in. I like them.
The best part is she goes,
You've all seen them. She's worn them 100 times. I wanted to buy them. I couldn't find them. But I'm like, but not with the dress.
And I just had him on, and Savannah goes, oh.
This is the beautiful.
Do you not like that?
Look at this.
Not with that dress.
You don't?
See? That's what
Okay.
she was wearing. She's
All
like,
right.
it's
It's because they're
They're
comfortable.
I love them. You know I want them.
They're like designer birds.
They're fab. I want them.
15.
We cried, and look, your shoes.
She's wearing my shoes.
You guys
She's
remember
got all
these?
the lights.
She's got these very fancy but clunky shoes.
They're in.
You've seen them. They're very in. I
You've
like
seen
them.
The best part is she goes,
You've all
"You've
seen them. She's worn them 100 times.
I mean, I understand that everybody has the right to enjoy life, to have moments where you're laughing and, you know, being in the moment and living. And I don't expect Savannah to be grieving every moment of the day, but oh my God, we're 4 months in. You've got the sheriff's office arresting innocent YouTubers. Dad's gone live, put a tracker on the flowers that he left before he went home on Nancy Guthrie's memorial, tracked it back, the tracker, to a hotel nearby where the A&T team are rumored to be staying. There's also Des Daphne's case files has been reporting potentially Savannah's security team member or somebody watching over the home in a white Tesla who may be staying at the hotel. Who the dang is taking the flowers down? Is it Sue Ellen? What is going on in the Nancy Guthrie story in the case? Because it looks like everything but finding Nancy is what's going on. And I just have lost. I mean, I don't even know Savannah. I'm Canadian. I've never followed her. I never watched her on the Today Show. She seems pure and innocent. All the rumors that she was a bitch on scene, on screen, on the NBC show, and not well liked, were out there. I don't know how true that is. But tell me what you think. Is this a good look? Does Savannah really cry on the way to work every morning and cry on the way home? Does Savannah give a hoot about a sheriff's office who are arresting people, YouTubers, who were simply trying to keep her mother's name and story alive and out in the media? Now, I'm not saying I agree with Criminal Network peeing and everything like that on the side of the road in his little tent. However, I'd rather he did that than peed on in public. And when you're forced to not be able to take a car out there due to these fake laws that the sheriff has created, you know, one might say you'd have to get a little creative because you can't go back and forth and get your ride taking you back and forth every time you have to go to the bathroom. And in fact, when Brian Enton was there, he and all the reporters were lined up and down the street, Fox, everybody, you know, hundreds of them. I distinctly remember Brian Enton saying that they all had to pee in little cups and cans when they first brought this restriction out. They were all doing it. So I really didn't intend on going back here, but then we saw the reports come out with the FOIA requests on these arrests. And I want to talk about those. Now. Let's watch them. I just want to say before I go on that I have been not feeling super well. My last video on I think I may have located Nancy is not a specific enough location. I'm going to repeat this because a lot of you don't watch the full video, and it's beyond frustrating sometimes when the answer to your question or your criticism for not doing something that actually happened later in the video. So I'm going to repeat this 4, 5, 6, 7 times if I need to. The location of my last video is not specific enough to send to the police. Jim's exploring with Jim. Dad's Gone Live, none of them. I am going to try to refine the area, but I have been not feeling well for days. So when I'm feeling better, I'm going to get back into some remote viewing, hopefully in the next few days, to do the best I can to narrow down Nancy Guthrie. I've also said I was going to go and look for Jack and Lily. I'm going to be sending money back because I have decided it's not safe enough to go look for Jack and Lily. Except for the couple of you that told me to keep the money. Thank you so much for the gift. I might get a haircut, the fourth one in 6 years, because that's how tight money has been, which is why some of you said, like, go look for it yourself. Well, if I had the funds here from Canada, I would go look for her myself once I narrow down the location. I've been tapping into the searchers' energy, popping into some of their live streams just to decide when and if I get a very, very specific location for Nancy Guthrie, who I'm going to send it to. I would love to raise enough funds to go to Arizona myself, but I don't know that I'm going to have time to do that. So for those of you that had donated and didn't tell me to keep the money, I'll be returning the money, as I will not be going to look for Jack and Lily. If I'm feeling well enough and I can get funds to raise to go to Arizona instead, it's also about the same cost, $1,500 for a flight and a couple nights stay and a rental car. My daughter works for Enterprise as a manager, rental cars, so hopefully I can get a good deal. But I'm concerned that I would need a dune buggy, a 4-wheel drive, dirt bike or something of that nature to actually get to that location. When I get it pinned, I will send the right person, if not myself as well, to go and look for Nancy. I hope I've made that super, super duper clear for everybody that's new here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. For all of you that make those beautiful, wonderful comments, I appreciate you. I love you all. But also, if you're new here, I never declare one reading to be fact. I said, did I find Nancy, as a question mark, because it was an inadvertent remote viewing. But now I will attempt to, and in the next couple of days when I'm feeling better, go in and remote view again and see if I can get some clarity on a more specific location before I send it out. And who I'm going to send it out to has yet to be determined. Okay? I hope that's clear. Now let's watch this now, because this will blow your socks off if you haven't seen it.
Welcome back to an all-new episode of Daphne's Detention. New details in the Nancy Guthrie case. Update today. 16-page report just out not too long ago about these 911 calls pertaining to the complaints received in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you a few things with those. Also, who is stealing the flowers in front of Nancy Guthrie's house? And recently, within the last weeks, her memorial was completely gone. And I know that others had brought more flowers out there, and then it was completely gone after that. And why is it okay for some to be in Nancy's neighborhood, but others can't? We're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. Welcome to Daphne's Case Files. I am your host, Daphne, as always. And make sure that you click or hit or just tap that little bell right there. I think it's just right there on the screen. And you will always be notified when I update you with the new content. Okay, let's get started. A 16-page report just came out not too long ago, and it's pertaining to something that just happened. Let's take a look. So before we get started, I know a lot of you have seen this video that I'm about to play. I just have a 3-minute clip of it. Why am I going to play it? Because it's just plain out wrong, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I believe it's wrong. And the 16-page report goes with this video and kind of what's going on out there. Now, it's all going to make sense once I'm done showing you guys, as there's others that have been doing the same thing out here, but they don't get any kind of ticket, nothing. And they knew ahead of time.
Sure. For what, sir?
Because that's a direct order.
On direct order. Okay, but before that, can I have your name and your badge number first?
Let's get
Hey,
no,
what did I do?
stand up. You're under arrest.
For what? You're under arrest. What am I under arrest for? Hey, okay, but listen, you guys. What am I under arrest for? Hey, what am I under arrest for? Dude, stop it. Don't do it. Hey, I'm not even fighting you. I want to know what I'm arrested for. Get on the ground. What am I under arrest for? Get on the ground. What am I under arrest for? Get on the freaking ground. Look, I didn't shove him down. Comply. What am I under arrest for? Comply. I will, but what am I under arrest for? Don't twist me. He's putting a cuff on me. Knock it off. He's putting a cuff on me. Relax. Tell him you're putting a cuff on me. Relax. Don't.
I don't know. I didn't see him pushing him down. I saw a sheriff tripping over his own fat ass. Excuse my language. I'm not exactly a lightweight myself, so it's not a criticism of his weight. It's more that he's just an ass. Sorry for lying, because he was not tripped, as Daphne slow-moed it. Now, I'll be quiet again. Let's keep watching.
You guys, get someone out here to get my stuff. I don't want them taking my shit. Sir, can you please make sure my stuff's picked up?
Running up when he's already contained. I mean, what are you offering, dude? Like, what are you offering to do to help? I don't know. It's just, it feels cinematic. It feels for the cameras. Why does this third small, tiny sheriff deputy at the sheriff's office feel the need when he's already been contained? He's already been cuffed. He's not resisting. He's not moving to go and add a third hand into the mix. Overkill? Yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. I'm not a cop, but seems like a waste of a third person to me.
Someone get out here to get my stuff, please. Hey, sir.
Stop pulling away, bro.
Dude, my cuffs are on, bro.
Relax.
You relax.
I'm not doing anything.
Then don't tell me to relax. I can speak however I want to, bro. You're no bigger of a human being than I am, bro. Remember that.
Stop putting your face in my face.
I can put my face anywhere I want.
Spit on me, you catch a charge.
No one spit on you.
Fucking spit on me, dude.
No one spit on you. Just shut your mouth, bro. You don't want to talk. Can I get my stuff?
No.
I can't get my stuff?
No.
Hey.
I mean, he's talking aggressively because he's pissed. And yeah, he's probably got saliva coming out of his mouth. Did he deliberately spit on him? No, he didn't. These are the sheriff deputies, the deputies in the Sheriff Nanos's Pima County office. And I said I've lost respect for all of them, and I have. I've absolutely lost respect for every single one of them who voted non-confidence or who refused to vote. And I've said it before as a coach. I was a coach. If you're part of the problem, then if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And by acquiescing to this and not pushing back or not voting to have him removed because you're concerned about the backlash, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's this time in the world to stand up for what's right if we want to see change. And this is absolutely wrong. You won't see mainstream media, sadly. Brian Etton said he would look into it, never came back to it, disappointed. Because had he researched the facts that Daphne's going to go through now, he would learn that the officer's statements exactly to this pertaining to this video show this was bogus. Let's keep watching. Absolute bullshit here. Let's go.
You guys are
The night before Alex was out there, I believe, and he stayed out there by himself at night. When he was out there, an officer had showed up and said, "Do you have a tent out here? Are you sleeping out here?" He's like, "No." And the officer said, "Okay." And he drove away. Well, that same night, Juice was leaving around that time. And I believe they were following what it was to be media out there, one of the local news stations. Now, check this out. Before I get to the report, I want to read something to you. So they're basically saying, talking about Nanos and the sheriff's department, are saying it's okay for other media to be out there, but not the YouTubers. I just want to read this to you. So on Monday, Sheriff Nanos told 13 News, Caleb Butter, that they plan to arrest a YouTuber who may have been living in a tent in the area and was seen pouring urine on a nearby property. Nano said that the department received video evidence of him also peeing in public behind a makeshift tent. Interesting, right?
Okay. What the dang? They absolutely knew there was going to be an arrest, and they absolutely took advantage of it and went out there. Keep watching. Daphne's incredible. She's pulling up some amazing stuff just before the arrests. Watch this.
Is Monday night. I want you to watch this.
Uh-oh. Sounds like a truck. Looks like a sheriff. What time is it? Oh my God. Oh no, here they come. Son of a bitch. Okay. Turn off the phone. Oh, I'm busted, guys. Okay, guys, I'm gonna need you guys to call my lawyer. Just don't light me up, man. Don't light me up. I'm just chilling. Oh shit. Let's turn it.
Hey, what's up, Alex?
How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. I'm Deputy Matapene.
Matapene?
So, yeah. The reason I'm here, got a call for service about a tent being set up. Obviously, I don't see a tent being set up here. Just want to reiterate, stay off the road, okay?
Of course.
All right.
Yes.
Well, you have a good night, okay?
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much. Have a good night. Yeah. I'm staying off the road. You got my word.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Okay, so you could see the officer was very nice, very friendly, asked him a question. You could see that there was no tent he was sleeping in, and he went on his merry way. Now, let me show you this.
He's definitely trying to make it look like he hasn't passed by like 7 times already.
There's so many ways to get in and out of this neighborhood.
Yeah, yeah,
Insane.
it is. I've walked in different ways. Just, times that I've walked from the CBS up there.
I still don't know where the church is.
Right here, we're about to pass it right now.
Oh, really? That's quite a walk.
Well, we're gonna pass the
I mean, where you were parking to walk in?
yeah, where people park.
Wow.
They have a pretty big parking lot. So it's right here to your right, coming up, I think.
I wish I could walk my dog instead of they don't walk. They
Yeah,
just
right here,
drag.
sign right there. That's
Okay.
right in there. So
Wow, that is a long
Orange Road.
Orange Grove. This is where I'm at.
It's really all of it.
My mom had a house after she sold her big house right here. Camino Mirabal and Orange Grove. Is that where we were?
That is, I think that's Mozzarella in Orange Road. Where do you go? He is all. I just want to see if we can make a left and go back into the neighborhood.
This is the road. I guess they consider it that way.
Well, if he goes left at on First and then makes a left again, he's right back into this neighborhood. Looks like it. No, he's at the light. I think it's the same one that. I don't know if I got his plate or if I did get his plate. Yeah, no, that's right. I'll confirm later on if that's the same plate or not. I think it is. It's the same guy.
Okay, so what am I actually showing you here? Oh, there was right there. There was media actually getting the scoop from what I could tell from the sheriff. And they were there basically spying on the YouTubers because they were about to make a story on them about their arrest and everything. Now, let's look at this again. This is actually off of one of their articles, and I just clipped this the other day because when I read it, it makes me upset that they are picking and choosing who can be out there and who can't, when in fact it is a public road, and the county, Pima County residents that live there and pay taxes actually pay for those roads. That's where your tax dollars go. Okay. And they are allowed to sit out there. This says on Monday, Sheriff Nanos told 13 News, Caleb Butter, that they plan to arrest a YouTuber who may have been living in a tent in the area and was seen pouring urine on a nearby property. Nanos said that the department received a video evidence of him also peeing in public behind a makeshift tent. Yet, they arrested Juice and then gave Damien a misdemeanor citation. And if he wouldn't have signed that, they would have took him to jail. Do you think that's fair? Now, look at this. These are people of the media. Now, this was the day that Alex got arrested, from my understanding.
How's it going, man?
Well, how are you?
Good, thanks.
You could see his lanyard there, okay? And see him grin like that because he knows what's about to happen. Now, let's look at the other one. So there was somebody hiding over here as well. Actually, it might be the same man. And there you go. Camera, same. You could tell that's someone in the media. And she's not looking towards Alex's way because she probably can't hold a straight face because she knows what's about to happen. There you go. You could see that her face was forward, and then as soon as she walks by, she looks the other way. See? Trying not to make eye contact with him whatsoever. Do you think it's fair? Do you think it's fair to tell one group of people that they can't go out there and film, but the other group can absolutely go out there? They're not going to get in trouble. I don't. I think that's bullying, and that's picking and choosing, and you can't do that. This is the actual citation that Alex got, and this was on June 8th. This was the first one, okay? And they said that he was cited prior. He was never actually cited. He was arrested. They went to his home and actually arrested him. He wasn't even there in front of Nancy's. So it says the defendant committed the following, and it says obstructing public thoroughfare. I think that's what it says. Saying he was basically sitting in the middle of the road, stuff like that. Then it says public nuisance. Okay, right here. And in custody. So they went to his home and arrested him. Yeah, okay.
Daphne's going to pull up the incident report now, and we're going to let you listen to what she reads from this report to show you even the officers cited in this report admit that he did nothing wrong. Keep listening. But what I really want to impress upon you here is the irony that the media is not covering. The media should be fighting for freedom of speech. Savannah Guthrie is in the media, and this involves her own mother. And she's dancing around on set like life is just hunky-dory. And like I said, I respect the right to have fun moments. I respect the right that she can't wallow in, sadness forever. But just like, it couldn't get more disgusting when you look at the opposing challenges. One's laughing about shoes, who should be fighting for free speech as part of the media. When it comes to finding her mother, you would think she would be out there speaking about this. You would think mainstream media, who are the ones most impacted, who would be best, I guess, to comment about this, given that this is their livelihood, would be the ones coming out here speaking the truth about this. But sadly, they're not. And it's disgusting. And I'm disappointed in all mainstream media for not following up with this. Because like I said before, if this had happened to Brian Enton or Fox News, you can be sure it would be all over the news. And that's what's disappointing and disgusting, truthfully. Now let's listen to the incident report, traffic hazard. Let's keep listening to the various incident reports that led up to Alex's arrest. Let's listen.
And you could see where it says traffic hazard. And then it'll say active right here. Do you see that? 5/26/2026. Well, he never received any citation. Nothing on May 26th. So that's very odd. Okay, I'm going to go down and it says received by the officers here, officers that responded. It says on May 26, 2026, at approximately 16:29 hours, while assigned to the Rincon district, I responded to a traffic hazard at, talking about Nancy's house, 5820 North Camino Escalante. While I was en route, I provided the following information via a text. Who was the reporting party? I was driving by in a Hispanic male in late 40s to 50s, heavy set, shaved head, tattoos all over face and arms, black sunglasses, last seen wearing all black, was sitting in a chair in the middle of the roadway. What? Recording and doing a video? Who sits in the middle of the roadway? I've never seen him sit in the middle of the roadway. And through a cactus.
3626 traffic hazard. 1036 traffic hazard, 5820 North Camino Escalante. Number one male, heavy set, shaved head, tattoos, sitting in a chair in the middle of the roadway through a cactus at 1015's vehicle.
At the vehicle. Number one, who's going to pick up a cactus? Have you seen those thorns on those cactuses? Checked up here to also be holding alcohol in his hands. It occurred. An additional caller of so-and-so address, it's redacted obviously for the neighbors, also called in regards to the subject name Alex. She says that he is trying to get an interview with her and he is sitting in front of her house. This has been an ongoing issue and he has been speculating that she was involved with the kidnapping. Redacted does not stay at her house at night anymore because of how often this happens. An additional caller, Mindy from Phoenix, is stating people are harassing my YouTubers and throwing rocks and cactus at them. She had also mentioned Alex's name. That's interesting. While I was en route to. I attempted to make a telephonic contact with the phone number that was provided to me from communications to try to get a hold of redacted. However, after multiple attempts, I received a negative answer upon my arrival in the vicinity of the area. I noticed that there was a male individual with a matching description that was provided to me from communications who was sitting in a chair across from the west side of the public road. I approached that male individual who was identified as Alex. I advised Alex who I was and then the department I worked for, as well as speaking with Alex, advising him that the reason I was out with him was in regards to a vehicle passing by and Alex possibly throwing a cactus at it. I told Alex that I wanted to get in his side of the story. Alex stated his story, explaining to me that it never occurred, that he did not throw any cactus at a vehicle. He explained to me that he has been sitting down on the west side of the public road, live streaming for approximately 43 minutes. I explained to Alex that while I was en route over here, I attempted to try to get a hold of the reporting party, but they never answered. Go figure. I explained to Alex that the reportee also mentioned that Alex had alcohol beverage. Alex stated that he did not have an alcoholic beverage, explaining to me that he had a bag of miscellaneous items and asked me to check his bag. I then asked him, with his permission, if he would allow me to check. Alex consented. I took a look in Alex's bag and did not see any alcoholic beverage. I explained to Alex that we also have an additional caller and asked Alex if he had been interviewing any of the neighbors around in the neighborhood. Alex explained to me that he only interviews the neighbors who want to be interviewed. I explained to Alex that due to this case being a sensitive matter, to not enforce any interviews and to respect those who do not want to be interviewed. Alex was well understanding of the situation. I asked Alex if he has any additional questions for me. Alex stated no. This concludes my contact with Alex. I then returned to my patrol vehicle to make a phone call to the number that was provided to me from communications. And I got a hold of the person who called. I advised so-and-so who I was and the department I worked for, as well as asking what was going on. So-and-so explained to me that the individual whom she identified as Alex was at the front of her residence attempting to interview with her. However, explained to me that she was quickly able to go inside her residence, expressing her concerns about safety issues and harassment that she has been dealing with regarding Alex. I asked so-and-so if she had Ring cameras available so I could take a look at the video footage, stated to me. Yes, but she also mentioned that she was a bit shaken up and that it was going to take her a while to send the Ring camera footage over to me. Wow. Guys, it takes 2 seconds to send a recorded video from Ring over to anybody you want. Okay, 2 seconds. All you have to do is hit that share button. Anyhow, I told so-and-so not to worry, that I understood her frustration alongside of her concerns, and that she had explained to me, I explained to her that Axon link was going to be sent to her through text message. I asked if there was anything else I could assist her with at this time. Stated to me, no, this concludes my phone call contact with this person. I then cleared from the scene and returned to service. Wow. On 5/26/2026 at approximately 16:29 hours while patrolling the same district, Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood, located in Pima County, referencing a traffic hazard, I responded as a backup unit with a call text stating that the complainant was driving by, and so talking about Alex again. Okay. The subject also appeared to be holding alcohol in his hand, had just occurred. Okay. Now, look at this. When I had responded, Deputy A. Dwart, number 9425, went and spoke with the male. The male was identified as Alex. While the deputy was speaking with him, I had noticed that a vehicle had pulled up to the residence. I had gone and spoke with him. He stated that he was the property manager. So you guys, do you remember this white Tesla? I'm going to show you in just a moment. This white Tesla, this guy that we were told that he was either security or private investigator. I still think he's a private investigator, but I could be wrong. He's always at Nancy's house. So he's maybe all three. Okay. Property manager, somebody that's constantly in and out of Nancy's house. Okay. Anywho, that's who they're talking about. It says, he stated that he was the property manager and he came to the properties multiple times a week. I did get his information. I then spoke with Sergeant Morales about this. I then called Sergeant Stivers and gave him the male's information, asking him to verify it with Savannah, who was Nancy Guthrie's daughter. Sergeant Stivers had spoken with her and stated that, yes, the male was allowed to be there. And there was another male who did show up on the property as well. Very interesting. After verifying this, I then called Sergeant Morales back to provide him with his information, as well as Deputy Duarte. My body-worn camera was activated at the time of the incident. This concludes my involvement. I was asked to see if the individual by the name Alex was near Nancy Guthrie's house. I drove by the residence and there was only one individual out there, but it was not Alexander. Remember, this was the day that Damien was sitting out there and Juice had shortly arrived. And prior to that, a officer pulled up and said, hey, is Alex out here?
Here we go. Hey, how you been? You know, actually, it's not. I was thinking that it's not that bad with the umbrella and the. Yeah. Yeah, 857 Tucson. Okay. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks for what you guys are doing. You know the YouTuber that goes running around anger. I mean, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah. Seen him around here today or? Not today, no. Man, well, you're not doing nothing wrong. Just sit over there. I just wanted to talk about it. Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you for what you're doing out there. We stand with you guys.
Goes on to say, I was asked to see if the individual by the name Alex was in the area. So this was prior to his first arrest. Okay. This was on 6/8. Okay. So it goes on to say, I was asked to see if an individual by the name of Alex was there in the area by Nancy Guthrie's residence. I drove by the residence and there was only one individual out there. I was then informed that Detective August and myself would be meeting up with Detective Perez Daniels to go to Alex's home. Basically, I then made my way to Alex's home. That's basically what they're saying. Detective Perez then spoke to Alex and advised him of his charges. His wallet and medication he advised he needed was provided and placed into my patrol vehicle along with Alex. I did speak to Alex and advised him that I did not know the circumstances related to his case, so I would not be able to answer any questions if he had any. He advised he understood. I then transported Alex to the Pima County Adult Detention Center without incident. Once at the jail, I walked Alex in and took the cuffs off of him. His belongings were turned over to Perez, who was doing booking. And then it says, please refer to her report for further information.
Not bad. How you doing?
Welcome those you guys and good to see you guys in the chat. Welcome guys. Welcome.
So you're told to come out and talk to y'all, and see what you're all up to, get your IDs, all that stuff.
What crime are you accusing me of doing?
Allegedly public nuisance. Yeah.
No, have you talked to the other? They already came by here. Hey, wait a minute. We already had sheriffs come by, and I talked to him. He said we're cool.
When was that?
About 2 hours ago. I mean, I have it on video and everything. Yeah, he came out and he's like, "Are you 857?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, you're cool, man. You're cool. We know you're not up to anything." So yeah, I mean, if you guys look on your call log, you'll see there was 3 sheriffs out here like 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Direction we're going.
No, I'm out of here. If you guys are gonna, I mean, we're not doing anything.
Just get his 43 and we'll get going. All right, bro. You ready?
Because I think you did anything wrong. I'm only ready to take it because I ordered to do so.
And who ordered that?
My sergeant,
What's his name?
Morales, and he was ordered by his lieutenant, Gilbert Hernandez.
Hernandez.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So this is a class 2 misdemeanor. That means that you have to sign this or I have to take you to jail.
This is just crazy. It goes on to say on May 26th, so it's probable cause statement, guys. Deputies made contact with the suspect, Alex, who was observed on the asphalt intentionally sitting on a lawn chair. Alex intentionally placed traffic cones on the road next to his personal belongings, including a tripod, which he was live streaming on. Okay, so nobody would run over his stuff. Alex Zander's live stream on YouTube also showed Alex on the roadway. On June 6th, Alex set up a P tent on the asphalt of the roadway on North Camino Escalante and North Serrata Chica, insinuating that he was urinating, creating an unpleasant environment for the surrounding neighbors. Due to the sensitivity of the proximity to the high-profile address, which is Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood, Alex made an offensive setting in the middle of the neighborhood, causing an obstruction to the free use of property that interfered with the comfortable enjoyment, life, or property by entire community, and offensive to their senses. What? Offensive to their senses? And it is legal to stand on a public road and safely film. Okay. You can't say it's okay for others and then arrest or give citations to others that are out there because you just don't want them to be there. That's not fair.
So one thing that is not mentioned here is that private investigator in the white Tesla, or security guy, whoever he is that you just heard was allowed to be there according to Savannah, was on the roof of Nancy Guthrie's home at the time that they made these arrests. When Juice was there filming, and I think it was 857 Tucson beside him the moment, I think. It's clear that that man in other recordings, the one in the white Tesla, allowed to be there by Savannah, was on the roof of Nancy Guthrie's home. Now, what was he doing? What is he preparing to do for the family? Or what was he doing for the family that the sheriff's office didn't want them to see? Now, I agree that we've seen Alex, the pooping and the farting and the inside the tent, potentially. I don't even know if it was an act. And he was just exasperating his sounds to make it, cinematic for entertainment, if you will. But I can see that necessarily annoying, and, it would be considered, inappropriate. But that's kind of it, truthfully. And let's keep watching the rest of the story here unfold for a couple more minutes. And then I want you to tell me what you think.
And It's wrong. It's completely wrong. Now look at this. This is actually them, the media, out there, stopped. Okay. But yet they're not getting in trouble for stopping a vehicle and getting out to look at the flowers. This would have been the second memorial kind of that was out there. Okay, now check this out. So this is kind of really smart to do. Dad's Gone Live had brought some flowers out to Nancy Guthrie's home and placed them because there was nothing out there. And he put an air tag in the flowers. And I'm like, that is genius. Okay. Well, someone took the flowers and he's been pinging those flowers to try to find out where they're at. So check this out. And I'm going to show you the location they were at today. That the flowers he placed there are completely gone. Him and I believe Nico, they were out there and they're going to go searching as well. And that's him checking the dumpsters and stuff for that air tag. Okay, so check this out. I'm going to show you the area. Okay, so you know I'm a like map nerd and I have to map everything. I don't care what it is. I mark it on the map. Anywho, they were at this area today and I thought it was interesting. So they went by Nancy's. The flowers were gone that he put there. And he's like, you know what? I put an air tag in those. And somehow they, from my understanding, is they tracked the air tag to this location. Well, what's very interesting about this location is, do you see this? Homewood Suites. If you've ever seen these now, these are like, from my understanding, like they're like little apartments type hotels where you can rent them out for like a week or like a mainstays, from my understanding anyways. And it's interesting because I wonder if that air tag was somewhere in the hotel, but it brought them to around over in this area because I watched them actually drive through this parking lot here. That's why I have it marked off. So they came in over here by the salon and then an anti-aging bar, which is interesting. And then over here, there was like something called like Pure Love Cafe or something. Yeah, very interesting. So why is this important? You know, sometimes these criminals go back to the scene. I think it's fair that Nanos is basically giving the heads up to other media that there's going to be arrest with YouTubers. I don't think it's right, in my opinion. I think it's downright dirty, especially if they're there walking around. Yet, if the YouTubers go back and walk around there, they're going to be picked up and thrown in jail.
Everybody, tell me what you think about this case now. What do you think about the fact that it's a he said, she said, Sue Ellen and someone else against Alex rather, not Alan, sorry, Alex, and Juice? Is it really a criminal offense that warrants being arrested? Why are other investigative journalists allowed on the street in front of the home, being told there's going to be arrests coming? Now, again, keep in mind, AA Juice did not pee on the side of the road or anything like that. He was also arrested. Same for 857 Tucson. So tell me what you think below. But I have to wonder, with the gentleman being told by the sheriff's office in Pima County that he cannot talk about the conditions of the parks, and he can't post on Facebook, and he's been banned from the parks for speaking the truth and showing the truth. It has nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie. Can you imagine how desperately they want to keep us quiet, or them quiet, about Nancy Guthrie? It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And the fact that this is going on against freedom of speech, and we're dancing and trying shoes on and doing Wordle and leaving the, like, it's just, my head's going to pop off at how disgusting this feels that mainstream media isn't covering this. Because again, I've said it before, if it happened to Brian Anton, he would have covered it. You can be darn sure. And it seems to me like this is a clear violation from this office on people's rights and abilities to have free speech. Tell me what you think below. Stay tuned for my next video where I'm going to be doing more video, more remote viewings to try to really pin a location for Nancy. Thanks for being here. Do all the YouTube things. Love and light.